One morning at Sugar Corner, Pinkie Pie was working as normal, making cakes, cupcakes, but especially she was making a cake for a birthday party for the later afternoon. But that particular morning, word something changed. Suddenly, the door opened, and a pony walked in, and it was a pony that Pinkie had never seen before. And it turned out to be a new pony in town. It was a Pegasi by the name Crystal Eve. Crystal Eve, originally from Cloudsdale, but now hasn't lived outside town in a small cottage. Crystal Eve normally doesn't even walk into town. Only only when he needs food, tools, and other things. For most of the time, he spends by himself or with some friends who come over. But today, he decided to buy some sweets. Pinkie Pie is always welcomes him and asks what he wants to buy. And he said that he didn't know what to buy first because he was not really sure yet. So he had asked Pinkie if she had any recommendation for cupcakes or muffins or maybe pie or something, and that was a good sign though. That since Pinkie was an expert, she asked if this was going to be a birthday party or just some sort of celebration. But he said no, there's going to be just a few friends over for tea. So he's going to to have something to them so they could eat while they're having the tea. So he then asked if she have any sort of recommendation what to eat. Pinkie Pie said, "How about an apple pie and a half a dozen cupcakes?" And okay, what flavor would that be on the pie? It can be anything you want. Okay, I will take apple pie and say strawberry cupcakes right away. And then suddenly Pinkie Pie was right in the kitchen and suddenly started baking. While she was baking though, Crystal Eve walked around in his store, just looking around at the other goods that has been baked, and honest to that, he was very surprised that Pinkie had been working so early in the morning. Though most of the bakeries are open quite early in the morning to get ready for the customers, request or what they want to buy. So he sits down and waits for Pinkie to be finished. After about 20 to 25 minutes, everything was finished. "That was fast," said he, critically to Pinkie Pie. "Thanks, I'm always fast at this." So he pays for them and then he walks home. But there was just one thing. Pinkie could not stop looking at him. There was something about him that she didn't know first about, even if it was a new pony though. She had never seen him before. So, during lunchtime when she had a lunch break, when she had going to have lunch with Fluttershy and Rarity, they hardly small talked at the restaurant. They just small talked, but then suddenly Pinkie brought the topic of Crystal Eve. If they had ever heard about Crystal Eve before, and of course Fluttershy knew about him, since apparently Crystal Eve and Fluttershy were old friends from Cloudsdale, so they knew each other quite well. And Pinkie Pie asked where he lived. Fluttershy said that he lived in a small cottage just outside town, just like you do. And how long has he been living there? She said about a couple of months, but he never been in the at the Sugar Cup Corner before. Fluttershy mentioned that he preferred to mostly be by himself, and that made Pinkie really surprised. For one reason, she asked. Not seriously, nothing is serious, but he has always wanted to be alone. Ever since we lived in Cloudsdale, he had always wanted to be alone. Even he had any friends there. That is pretty much strange, though, said Rarity. Yeah, I asked him about it once, but he didn't give much of a right answer, and only said that, yeah, when he asked that, I just prefer to be alone. That's what he said to me. So Pinkie Pie decided maybe that she maybe could try to spend time with him, or at least get to know him better. And Fluttershy didn't say much about that, since there's always a good try at least. So the next day, though, Pinkie Pie baked some cupcakes and decided to go over to Crystal Eve's cottage. She knocked on the door, and he opened the door, and she saw that he was a bit surprised to see that she is there. He then asked, "What brings you here, Pinkie?" "I am here for a visit." Um, all right, come in. He was a bit surprised because he wasn't expecting any visit that day. Pinkie Pie saw how much this home was almost like Fluttershy, except no much animals though. "You live here yourself?" Yeah, I am." "And you like to be here? I mean, in Ponyville?" "Yes, yeah, actually I do." "Are you actually? Yeah, I actually do like to be in Ponyville. I mean, it's a small town here compared to Southdale, but it's much calmer. I used to live in more close to town, but I decided to be more to nature, like Fluttershy. I know, I know why, but to me, it feels more relaxing to be more closer to the nature than in the town itself." "Oh, I brought some cupcake with me." "Oh, do you want some tea?" "Yeah, that would be nice." Pinkie and Crystal Eve spent an afternoon together, talked mostly about anything actually. He was even more interested about her about her past adventures with her friends, when they say Questia from Tirac, Discord, and Storm King, and any other villains they had encountered. And they were apparently was something that he was good at, and he was actually a writer, or at least he wrote poets or something. And Pinkie asked them if he can read some of the poetry he had worked on. He said that he normally don't read the other poems, but since she asked, he could read some of it. So he pulls out a small book which had some of his old poetry and some new ones, and he started reading for her. She listened carefully, and she is almost enchanted by listening to his story, the poetry. After he's done, he asked what she liked about him, and she smiled and said, "They were actually really good. You should probably publish them." "Uh, Publish? Me? I don't know if ponies like this kind of poetry." "Well, you never know if you don't try." Good point. Well, I will think about it. I I normally don't even do that much, but yeah, but I will think about it. But then, before then Pinkie Pie was about to leave, she asked him if he would like to maybe spend time with her and her friends in town. Um, well, um, depends when. How about Friday? Yeah, I think I can actually do that. I mean, I have not much else to do. Great, see you then. Pinkie Pie was jumping home all the way to Ponyville. On Friday, Crystal Eve arrived to the castle, where he was a bit nervous how if he were able to be with any pony there. But of course, he tried to he tried to went step away or walk away from the castle and walk home again. But he decided not to do it. He wanted to be around other ponies now. He decided to give it a try. So when he get inside, Pinkie and the others were waiting for him already. And of course, he knew about them already. So Twilight had made some snacks, some tea for them all, and while they were sitting there talking, Rainbow used to put in as a random question. Hey, Chrysalis, yeah? Do you like Daring Do? Daring Do? You're kidding, right? Of course I love the story. I have all the books. I read them all the time. That means it's amazing adventures. Yeah, and I even knew the author. Wait, you know A.K. Yearling? That's right, we all do. Wait, you have all met her in person? Personally? Yeah, we have, said Rainbow with a smile. That must be amazing. I mean, meeting another famous author and even then being here with the most famous heroes of Equestria. That is really something that is amazing. And even after all this, though, suddenly, Crystal Eve did actually pull a joke or a funny story for the others, and they all started laughing, especially Spike. And it turns out they all had so much in common. And even later on, when suddenly Twilight mentioned to Crystal Eve. So, Crystal Eve, Pinkie told us you are good at poetry. Is that true? And he looked at Pinkie, who used a smile. Yeah, I am. Can you maybe read some for us? Well, I don't have any one of my books with me or my papers, but I can see. I can maybe figure out, maybe just made up one song for you. That works. So he decided to think for a short moment, and then he started telling on a poetry he just randomly came up with. And after he was done, Pinkie and the others smiled, and even Rarity said, "Darling, those poetry was so beautiful. Are you really a poet, but never published any of those?" No, I never considered to do that in the first place. Not for Pinkie thought maybe I should do it, but yeah, I'm not so really sure about that. But then, suddenly, hey, Twilight, can I ask you something? Yeah, what is it, Rarity? Do you know, there might be one thing that might be great, or something that's suitable for Crystal Eve at the school. At the school? What do you have in mind, Rarity? Well, how about a poetry class where he teach about poetry to students? Me teach poetry? And he fainted. Oh, oh dear, said Fluttershy. I think we overdid that. Yeah, I think so too, said Rarity. After he woke up and he said, oh, what just happened? Pinkie said, oh, we talked about you teaching poetry at school and you fainted. Pretty much. Oh, well, that would be amazing. I mean, I love poetry, and but I don't know how much any students these days are much into poetry, or at least poetry reading or something. Well, you might give it a try. I mean, you can start with a small class, maybe up to 5, 6 ponies or something, just to see if it works. So, said Twilight. Well, that's a good idea. I think I can do that, he said. Great! That's great. So, how about we start on Monday? Wait, this Monday? Yeah, if there's something wrong with that? No, I mean, I. Uh, Alright, yeah, I can give it a try. I mean, great. So on Monday, when he got to the school, a lot of ponies watched him. They all whispered, saying, "Is that a new teacher?" Yeah, I think so too. But he's so young. Yeah, but I wonder what's he gonna teach. I heard it was poetry. Wait, poetry? Are you sure about that? Yeah. Wow, he must be good at it. Really? Yeah. When he got to his classroom, which Pinkie and Twilight had ordered had been fixed to him. First, he had only 5 students, which he wanted to build. He wanted to start with a small class just to see if they worked. And during after class, though, other students before he left, they said that his poetry was so professional, that he was really good at poetry, and they had even some of them had actually had interest in poetry just before. And but the next day when he came back to the next class, next day, he found out the classroom didn't have 5 students anymore. Now it was about 10 students. And he felt a bit surprised, but and while I just before he started asked him, "I hope this is okay though that more students want to be part of your class, but I couldn't deny them, but I could understand if you want maybe to ask some of the students to leave." No, Twilight, this is no, this it is fine. I mean, I didn't expect many ponies want to be learning more about poetry, and especially this time. So, but thanks, I think I can handle this. So over this time, when he did teach poetry, but during this particular time when he was teaching though, he had actually started to spend more time with friends in town. And that would be Big Mac, Discord, Spike, and even many others. And he had even had moved from his small cottage into a small apartment in town. But one day after school was over, Pinkie went to see Chrysalis in his classroom just to ask him how things had been going today. And he said it has been an amazing time. All the students loved and had showed a lot of progress in their poetry. Some need to be some more help, but others have shown great progress. That's great. And then he asked, "Pinkie, may I ask you something?" "Yeah." "Do you maybe, I don't know, want to go out to the movies, restaurant, or something?" "Wait, are you asking me on a date?" "Yeah, yeah. Since you kind of helped me to get out my comfort zone to more comfortable with all this. And yes, I do ask you out." "Well, my answer is yes." "How about dinner tomorrow?" "That sounds great. At my place?" "Yeah, right? 6? Yeah, alright." So when he got home, he felt so calm. He felt so happy that he had actually found great job, a new place to stay in, and he had much more friends, and he felt comfortable to be in open around the ponies, and he had asked Pinkie out. The next day, when he went to the market to buy some food or some things he need, he ran into Spike and Twilight, who were also there to buy some food. They mentioned that they heard talk to Pinkie about their date, And Pinkie said to them that she actually felt some sort of that she had a crush on Crystal Leaf. That surprised him, but he smiled and said, "Yeah, Pinkie is quite random, but she's she's a random pony, but I admit she is very beautiful." And after all that, when she got to his home 6 p.m., she was beautiful. She was wearing a dress, light blue dress, and a light blue ribbon in her mane. And he even said that she looked so beautiful, and she smiled. And even though they had this amazing time there, all they had was eating a great deal of food, especially even chocolate cake as dessert. But there were only one thing they both had much want to do, and that was to be on this amazing time on the day. Sometimes later on, something indeed did happen. They actually start dating more, but Pinkie had then been asked by her parents to be over for a visit. So she then had asked Crystal Eve by a random chance if he would like to go over with her to see her family. Um, they knew about us? Yeah, they do. Okay, I guess I had to meet them at some point if we're have been dating this long, so why not? But even when they went on their way to the train station, though, he was a little bit nervous on the train. He acted like normal, but deep down, he was freaking out. This was their first time to meet Pinkie's family. Even though that he had already met her older sister Maud, who still lived in Ponyville with her boyfriend Mudbriar, she was just really, really hopeful that things were going well. When they went to the farm, Limestone, she were very cautious about Pinkie's new boyfriend, and even Marble, she was quiet first, but she slowly opened up a little bit more, and they have a good talks together. They get to know about each other better. But their parents, they were more opposite. They were first a little bit, well, a little bit more cautious. They wanted to know him more better, so they asked him some questions like what he do and where he's from, sort of things. And after that, he got to know him a little bit more. They actually saw that Pinkie really loved him. But their father said, "If you break my daughter's heart, I will break your legs." But no. And he laughed and said that was a joke. But yeah, but just don't break her heart. She is a very sensible. I know that, sir. I know. Even after that, it seems that they had her parents' approval to be dating. But something did mention happened though. Because during the rest of the year, they actually had been invited by the entire family to have Hearts Warming Eve at the rock farm, which Pinkie were excited since they would be their first holiday together, and he was a bit nervous himself. But even though Pinkie, she had us a great time on the holiday with her family, and Chrysalie, at first he was just nervous how this thing is gonna go well. He hoped that he would make any mistake, any first. But everything was just going well on the holiday. Around springtime, Crystal Eve had asked Pinkie if she would like to meet his family, and she said yes. So he had actually wrote a letter to his mother, and she said that she and his father would be over for a visit within a few days. Even Pinkie wasn't much nervous how they would like her, because when they got there, they met Pinkie at their home, at his home, and he was nervous how they react, how hyperactive she is. But they seem to like her very much, since they can know that she is one of the famous heroes that has saved Equestria for many times, and that she is a teacher at the School of Friendship, and that she's also works at the local bakery. So that she has multiple works, and that didn't make any harder time for them to get to like her. Over time, over time, as much as work between them, their love and their relationship had remained strong for each single day. And it was most strange to the most poems in town. Pinkie and Crystal Eve never had a single fight. Turns out they were so much in love with each other, and they're so much were much capable as pair, but they never had a single fight. Some of their friends asked why they never seemed to be able to fight at any time. Since Pinkie said, well, we don't fight because there is nothing to fight about. Yeah, that's right. We always had a great time, even we had well, some discussions, but never much anything leads to an argument or any fights. I mean, even we have our differences, but we always have done make some sacrifice in some things. That's right. So although they had just only been dating for about 3 years, Crystal Eve, when he was in Cloudesdale, he had told his mother and his father that he's going to propose to Pinkie, and they were actually very happy about this. They gave him support and hope for the best. When he comes back to Ponyville, he buys a ring and tells Applejack and Applebloom when they see him leaving the jewelry store. But they promise to keep this as a big secret. And on their third year anniversary, he did propose to her. And when she said yes, it was like she jumping up and down the air, screaming of joy that she's going to get married. When they told her family though, especially her sister, who was the first one to be know, she said, I'm happy for you, Pinkie. I am happy for you. And when the rest of the family was told, they all just happy. Even Marble said, mm-hmm. Even for most of the time, they planned all the wedding to be held at the castle. They had invited all the family. Even Spike had been asked by Crystal Eve to be his best man, and Pinkie had asked Maud to be her bridesmaid. And the wedding was great. Even though Pinkie didn't organize a party afterwards, which her friends with help of Discord made it. They all later had some amazing time, especially though when Pinkie and Crystal Eve danced together while they looked so deep in each other's eyes. To them, it felt like they were only ones there. Later that evening, they went on the honeymoon to Crystal Empire for about a week. There, they had an amazing time. But later on, when they came back home, they were back to normal work, even had entered a new chapter in their life. But within a year, Pinkie announced to her family and Crystal Eve that she was pregnant with twin daughters, which he was so excited. But he just hoped, though, that none of the daughters would be hyperactive like the mother, which he only joked about. But she didn't take that as a bad thing, though. She just smiled and said, only time can tell. And surprising enough, they weren't hyperactive. But they loved to help their mother in baking, the sugar corner, And they even liked to spend time with both the grandparents from the father's side and the mother's side. And only when the twins were 5 years old, they had another announcement. Pinkie was pregnant again with a boy. Even they were now happy to have this big family together, Crystal Eve could not have asked for any better than to be with Pinkie. And that's how Pinkie Pie and Crystal Eve, for their true love, got a big family. The end.